I don't wanna call you later. You're tearing my heart up like it's paper, and somehow you turn to a stranger.
Hi, I'm Helgi. So in this tutorial, we are going to make a lipstick holder and also a pouch. So these two crochet projects are customizable, so you can always adjust it and make any size you want. So for this video, I am going to use a 5-ply yarn and a mohair yarn together like this. Then I am going to use a 4mm crochet hook. So we're going to start by making a lipstick holder. So first, we are going to start with a magic ring. So hold the end of your yarn and wrap the yarn around your two fingers like this, and you will have this X shape in the middle. Then turn your finger around and hold your yarn like this. Then take your crochet hook, go under the first loop and then grab onto the second loop like this and twist your hook. And then I'm going to release this from my finger while still keeping the shape. So grab all of it like this and release, then hold your working yarn. Now you're going to chain one, so yarn over and pull through. So this is your magic ring. So in my magic ring, I am going to insert 10 single crochets. So this part is going to be the base for your lipstick. So you will have to make sure that it is the same size as the bottom of your lipstick right here. So this part is really important because you need the lipstick holder to tightly hug around your lipstick, as you don't want your lipstick to fall out from your holder. So I am going to insert 10 single crochets. However, if it's too small or too big for your base, you can always add more or lessen the number of single crochets accordingly. So insert the hook into the magic ring and yarn under and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through two. So this is going to be your first single crochet. Now go ahead and take a stitch marker and mark the first stitch. So we will always mark the first stitch for every round. This is so that we know when each round starts and ends, and this will also help you know where your first stitch is, because you won't be able to tell because we are going to work in a continuous round. Now just continue making 1 single crochet into your magic ring until 10 single crochets or until you have the total number that you want. Now you also need to make sure that you always crochet over the end, because this is what you're going to use to close the middle. So if the end is too short, you can always pull it a little bit and leave a little space so that you can still insert your hook inside. So right now I have 4 single crochets, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we're going to pull the end to close the middle. So go ahead and pull your magic ring until there is no hole in the middle right here. Now let me just compare the base with my lipstick. And as you can see, it is the same size as my lipsticks. So make sure that your base is also the same size as your lipstick. Now moving on to round 2, you move your stitch marker and insert your hook into the first stitch. And I am going to carry the end as I work over my single crochet. So to carry the end, you're going to put the end on top of your crochet hook and you're just going to make the single crochet like normal. So this is so that you don't have to weave it in later. Now go ahead and insert 1 single crochet into the first stitch. And then mark it with a stitch marker. Now for round 2 until round 14 or until it reaches the opening of your lipstick, which is right here, you're just going to insert 1 single crochet in each stitch. So this is my first single crochet right here. So insert your hook into the next stitch, which is right here. You can see that we have each V shape at the top. So this is your next stitch, this is your next stitch, this is your next stitch, and so on. So insert your hook into the next stitch through the V shape that I showed, and then just make one single crochet. So you're going to do this for each stitch. So since I made 10 single crochet earlier on round 1, I will have to make 10 single crochets. So make sure that the total number of single crochet that you make in this round is the same as round 1. So just continue until the end. So this is my 6th single crochet, 7, 8, 9, and this is my last stitch right here. I'm just going to insert my hook and make one single crochet. Now go ahead and repeat this until round 14 or until it reaches the opening of your lipstick. Now this is how it looks like once I'm done. So I have done until round 14. As you can see, I didn't cover the opening of my lipstick because this is going to help me open my lipstick a little bit easier, like this. So once you reach this part, you are going to stop crocheting. There are going to be 2 methods on how you're going to continue. It depends on whether you're going to add a charms or not, like this. As you can see, I added a charms for this one. So if you don't have any charms or you don't want to add any, it is going to be totally fine. I am going to show you a second method on how you're going to do the key ring. So if you are going to add a charms like that, all you need to do is just make a slip stitch into your first stitch. So to make a slip stitch, just insert your hook into the first stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, then just pull through. Then you're just going to cut and weave in the excess yarn inside of the lipstick holder. Now the second method, where you don't have to add any charms, what you're going to do is you're going to insert a slip stitch into the first stitch. So just insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, and then just pull through. Then you're going to chain how long you want the key ring to be, and I would recommend that you chain 25 plus. So just yarn over and pull through. Now just chain until you like the length. So I have here 25 chains. Once you are done chaining the length that you like, all you need to do is just insert your hook into the same place where we just made a slip stitch. So insert your hook into the same place and make a slip stitch. Then you're going to chain 1 and cut your yarn. Then pull through and pull the end to tighten up the chain 1. Then go ahead and take your darning needle and thread in your yarn. Then you're going to weave in this excess yarn inside of the lipstick holder. You're just going to go through the back stitch and weave it in. Make sure that the needle is not showing at the front. Then just pull. Then I'm going to skip this one stitch right here and weave it in again. This is just to make sure that it's really secure. Then just pull through all of it. Then take your scissor and cut the end. And this is how it's going to look like. So go ahead and add a ribbon at the center here. So to make the bow, first I just inserted it here and I just go through where I want the end of the bow to be. Right here, I think. Then I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. Just going to insert it right here and go through the side and pull. Before tying the bow, I would recommend that you insert the lipstick first, just to make sure that you don't tie it too tight. Then just go ahead and tie the bow. Then just adjust the bow until it looks nice. Now this is how the lipstick holder looks like. Now let's move on and make the pouch. Now to make the pouch, I am still going to use a 5-ply yarn and also a mohair yarn and a 4mm crochet hook. So first, we're going to do the front panel for the pouch. So we're going to make a slip knot. So to make a slip knot, go ahead and make a loop like this. Twist the yarn so that you have an X shape in the middle. Then put your working yarn on top, and then from the back just pull it. Now go ahead and take your crochet hook and insert your crochet hook into the loop and tighten it up. Make sure that your working yarn is at the front and the end is at the back. Now, you are going to chain how long you want your pouch to be, then add one more chain as your turning chain. So I am going to do 17 chains first. So yarn over and pull through. So this is going to be my first chain. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Then I'm going to add one more chain as my turning chain. So I have a total of 18 chains. Now for round 2, we are going to insert 1 single crochet in each stitch until the end. So you're going to start in the second chain right here. So insert your hook and make 1 single crochet. So you can always use a stitch marker and mark the first stitch if you think it's easier for you to see later on. Then in the second stitch right here, just insert your hook and make 1 single crochet. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the total number of single crochets that I am going to make is 17 single crochets, since I did 17 chains and plus 1 turning chain. You don't have to count the turning chain because that is not going to be your stitch, as you're just going to use it to turn your work. Now this is my last stitch right here. So first you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. Then you're just going to insert 1 single crochet in each stitch until the end right here where you have the stitch marker. So this is your turning chain, so you are going to ignore that, and this is your first stitch. So insert your hook into the first stitch and make 1 single crochet. And then in the second stitch, 2. So make sure that you make the same number of single crochet like before. So since I have 17 single crochets on round 2, I am still going to be making 17 single crochets on round 3. So this is my 6th stitch. 7, 8, 16, and my last stitch. 17. Now this is how it looks like. So now go ahead and repeat this step until round 11 or until it reaches your desired length. So I have done until round 11. So I'm going to show you how to count the rows or rounds. So make sure that the end is on your left side like this. And we're going to start counting right here. So as you can see, we kind of have this V shape right here. This is going to be your first row. And then we have the downwards V's. This is going to be your second row, or the next row will always have this kind of like a dotted lines. Then we have this upwards V's, so this is your third row, the downwards V's, fourth, then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. That is how you're going to count the rows or rounds. Now, to finish this off, we're going to chain 1. Then take your scissors and cut your yarn. Pull through and pull the end to tighten up the chain 1 so that your work won't unravel. Now this is going to be the front panel for my pouch. We are going to continue and make the back panel. So the back panel is going to be the same step as the front panel. For round 1, we are going to chain the same number as the front panel. So as I did 17 plus 1 chains, which will make 18 chains, I am going to make 18 chains again. So make sure that the back panel and the front panel have the same number of chains. However, instead of doing it until round 11 like this front panel, we are going to do it until round 20 for the back panel. Or you can always continue until it reaches your desired length. So if you customize this pouch, which means your number of rounds and chains are not the same as mine, you will have to compare your front panel and back panel together like this. And when you fold the back panel like this, you have to make sure that the back panel cover about 5 rows of the front panel, as it will act as the flap, as you can see. Once you are done, we're going to move on to round 21. So first, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. Now we are going to do 2 decreases, which means you are going to do 2 decreases in the next 4 stitches. So to do a decrease, you're going to insert your hook into the first stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, and then insert your hook into the second stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. Now you have 1, 2, and 3 loops on your hook, then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So this is going to be your first stitch and first decrease. Now do another decrease in the next 2 stitches. Insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop. Insert your hook into the next stitch and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Now we have 2 decreases here. Now we are going to insert 1 single crochet in each stitch until you are left with 4 stitches right here. So go ahead and insert your hook into the next stitch and make 1 single crochet. So just continue until you are left with 4 stitches at the end. Now I have 4 stitches here, so we are going to do 2 decreases again. So insert the hook, yarn over and pull up a loop. Then insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. Then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And do the same thing for the last 2 stitches. Now moving on to round 22, make a chain 1 and turn your work. Now we are going to make 1 decrease. So insert your hook into the first stitch and pull up a loop. Insert your hook into the next stitch and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Now you are going to insert 1 single crochet in each stitch until you are left with 2 stitches at the end. So insert your hook into the next stitch and make 1 single crochet. And the next 1 single crochet. So just continue this until you are left with 2 stitches at the end. Now I have 2 stitches right here, so we are going to make 1 decrease. So insert your hook into the next stitch and pull up a loop. Then insert your hook into the last stitch right here and pull up a loop. Then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Now we are going to fasten off. So to fasten off, you're just going to make a chain 1 and cut your yarn. And then pull through and pull the end to tighten up the chain 1 to secure your work. Now I have the back panel and front panel, so we are going to join these two together. I am going to use this pink yarn just so that it can add more texture and dimension to my pouch. So we are going to start joining it at the bottom here. So first, you're going to make sure that both of the bottom is facing each other like this. So which one is the bottom is the one that have the V shape is going to be the top, and this one is going to be the bottom. As you can see, there is no V shape. We only have this kind of like a horizontal lines. So the two ends is going to be on your right. So your stitches is going to be anywhere that you can find space. Right here, as you can see, we have kind of like a space. So the total of stitches at the bottom here is going to be the total number of chains that you did earlier in the rounds minus the turning chain. So since I did 18 chains minus 1, which is my turning chains, basically I will have a total of 17 stitches at the bottom to join. Now insert your hook into the first stitch and also insert your hook into the first stitch of the back panel right here. Now with your new yarn color, make a loop like this and put it on top of your crochet hook. Then just pull through and chain 1. Now we're going to make a slip stitch all along here. So to make a slip stitch, first you're going to insert the hook into the second stitch and also through the back panel, and through the back panel right here, and pull up a loop and pull through. So you're just going to continue this in each stitch at the bottom here. Make sure that the stitches are all lined up, because you want to make sure that you are inserting it in each stitch and make sure that it's straight. As you can see, all of my stitches are lined up, so it's much easier for you to make this slip stitch. And my last stitch right here. Right here is my last stitch. So just grab onto it and make your last slip stitch. Now we are going to make 1 single crochet in each rows and the stitches here and also the rows here. So to know where you are going to insert your hook, all you need to do is just follow the den here and also the dotted lines. So you're going to insert it in each of the rows until you reach the top. So I'm following the den here. So this is where you're going to insert your hook, and then insert it at the back too, right here, and make 1 single crochet. And then in the second row here, and then at the back, make 1 single crochet. So you're just going to continue this until you reach the top. Now you're going to make 1 single crochet right here, and insert it through the back panel too, and make 1 single crochet. Now we are going to insert 1 single crochet at the top right here. So insert your hook into the second stitch right here and make 1 single crochet. So just continue inserting 1 single crochet in each stitch until you reach the second last stitch right here. Now we are going to join this side, so insert your hook into the top stitch right here, and you are going to line the two sides like this. Make sure that each of this side is lined up, as you can see. Now since these two are going to be our second stitch, as you can see, second row I mean, you are going to insert your hook at the top right here. And I am going to carry this end as I work over the single crochet so that I don't have to weave it in. Now make 1 single crochet. Now all you need to do is just insert 1 single crochet until the end right here. It is going to be the same step as the other side. Just insert 1 single crochet through the front and back panel. Now this is going to be my last stitch that I'm going to join. Then take your scissors and cut your yarn and pull through. Now I'm going to cut this end that I carried. Now take your darning needle and thread in your yarn, which is this end right here. And we are going to make an invisible join, or what I call a fake stitch, so that this part is neat. Now insert your needle at the first slip stitch that we made, only through the top stitch like this, and pull through. Then you're going to insert your needle and yarn through your last stitch, only through the middle of the stitch, and pull through. Oh wait, let me just thread in my yarn again. And then insert your needle through the fake stitch like this, and pull, and insert your needle again into your last stitch, and bring the yarn inside of the pouch and flip your pouch inside out. And we are going to weave in this excess yarn inside. So to weave it in, you're just going to go through the back stitch and pull through. And I'm going to do this one more time. So I'm going to skip this stitch right here and only insert my needle through the next stitch like this, and only through the back stitch. And I'm going to thread in my yarn again because my yarn is like too too short, then pull. Then all you need to do is just cut your yarn. So now we have this 3 excess yarn at the front, so you're going to repeat the same step and weave in all of this inside of the pouch before moving on to the next step. So I have weaved in all of the excess yarn inside of the pouch. Now we are going to do the border for the flap. And before that, make sure that the front panel is at the back like this while making the border. So go ahead and attach your yarn at the side right here. So I'm going to insert my hook and attach my yarn. And make a chain 1. Now I am going to carry the end as I make 1 single crochet in each rows and also the top stitch. So you're going to insert 1 single crochet in each rows just like before. So insert the hook into the next stitch right here and make 1 single crochet. And you're just going to continue doing this until the end right here. Now I have reached the top stitch, so I'm just going to insert my hook into the top stitch and insert 1 single crochet in each of the stitches. Then I'm going to insert my needle at the next row here. Just follow the then here. And also I am going to carry the end as I insert my single crochet. So just continue inserting it in each rows like this. Then right here, and I'm going to insert my last single crochet right here. Now just go ahead and cut your yarn and pull through. Then take your darning needle and thread in your yarn, and I'm just going to insert my needle at the side right here. Then weave in the excess yarn. Then go ahead and cut the 2 excess yarn here. Now the pouch is done. Now we are going to do a strap for the pouch so that we can close the pouch and also tie a bow at the center part. So to do that, first you are going to do a slip knot. And insert the hook. And you are going to chain how long you want the strap to be. So I am going to do about 30 to 35 chains. So I decided to just do until 30 chains because I think I like the length. So I'm going to add 1 more chain as a turning chain. Now all you need to do is just insert 1 slip stitch in each stitch. So insert the hook into the second stitch right here and make a slip stitch. So this is what you're going to do until the end right here. Now I am all done with my strap. So once you are done, you're just going to cut your yarn and pull through. So this is where I'm going to attach this strap, where I mark with a stitch marker. So this is going to be on around 1 2 3 4 5 6. So this is going to be on around 7, the top of round 7 here. And we have here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 stitches here, and then 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 stitches here. So to attach your strap, all you need to do is just insert your hook from the back like this, and then grab onto the yarn and pull through, and then go ahead and do the same thing at the side here. Make sure that the back is like this, and then the front is going to be like this. So now just flip your pouch inside out and tie a few knots with the two ends. Now all you need to do is just weave in this excess yarn. So once you are done weaving in the excess yarn, all you need to do is just do the same thing for the flap. So for the flap, you're going to attach the yarn right here, as you can see, and we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 stitches here, and 1 2 3 4 and 5 stitches here. Now this is how the pouch looks like, as you can see, and this is how I attach the other strap. So I put my camera inside, so I'm going to show you how to tie it in case you don't know how. So first, you're just going to tie a knot, and then just tie a bow like this, and adjust it a bit. Make sure that it looks nice. That's it for a tutorial. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!